by the way, I want to go back to my colleagues live on the ground. We'll come back here and sort of put this in proper context for you. We thankfully have the chairman of the MPP Manifesto Committee, Kyei Mensah Bonsu, with my colleagues there on the ground in Takoradi. Kojo Brace is standing by with him.
Is the epitome of who a Ghanaian is. The traditional upbringing is a Muslim who has Christian upbringing. Then, in terms of coming up through the system, we all know his father, a well-established politician. But then at periods in his life, we experience lows, for which reason, as by his own account, schooling, he had to even be employed, be engaged as a farmhand, a by-day laborer. He struggled through life. He went outside to continue. There, he was a factory hand, a taxi driver, but he achieved great success when he graduated and then turned out to be a lecturer at the university. So a well-established academic. Then he came to Ghana, an economist, worked at the Bank of Ghana and rose to be the deputy governor. An established and accomplished technocrat. Then he comes out as a politician. For 16 years, he was with his boss, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. 8 of those years, they were in the shadows. And yet they traveled the length and breadth of the country and engaged a cross-section of the citizens of this country. 8 years on, he now comes up as the vice president. He's elected as the flag bearer, and he says, even though I have my own vision, I know society is dynamic, and especially ever since I became the vice president, known people, known friends, no longer can assess me. So let me step out to engage, which is what he did. And again, he stepped out to engage a cross-section of the Ghanaian society. He put together the Manifesto Committee, and we're with him wherever he went, wherever he engaged the people, and took out issues that came up, and used it to fertilize his own vision, because the man admits that notwithstanding what he has achieved in life, he's not a repository of knowledge, wisdom, and experience. So we have a mixed grill of his own focus, and we have fertilized his ideas with what we had from the people that we engaged to come out with this comprehensive vision. When he met the people, they raised several issues. As I said, we sieved them, we put them in the net and sieved them, and brought all of them. So this manifesto now is a bold attempt to respond to the issues that were raised, so that at the end of it all, Ghana would, the development agenda will have a value addition that is unprecedented. And we hope that by this, we'll be able to reposition the country called Ghana. Of course, having said that, after the launch, a lot will also depend on the party faithfuls to ferry the message to the people, those down there, so that they would understand, have a buy-in into the message, come with us, so that we'll be able to grow this country to the extent and level that we want to grow the country.
What are the key focus of this manifesto?
The key focus, I beg you, let us hear from the horse's own mouth. Let us hear from the horse's own mouth. I cannot, while the food is being pounded, start the beginning of the drinking of the soup. Thank you very much.
Well, let's try and get the let's try and engage Michael Kyei Jr. Michael Kyei Jr. is is also part of this manifesto committee. So in terms of trade, what is going to be the focus?
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the question again, because
Yeah.
I couldn't hear
So
you.
I was asking of you are part of the committee in terms of trade. What should be we looking at?
I'm actually the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. So yes, there's a lot of things to expect, but I'm sure, as you can understand, we are not allowed to divulge anything out of this particular time. But what I can assure you is that there are a lot of exciting things coming up from the manifesto, and also a bold response. I think one of the things that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been able to show is that he's not afraid to admit that there were mistakes. We are not afraid, as the finance minister did, to say sorry when certain things haven't gone well. But we also know that this manifesto is in response to a world economic crisis. Just like Joe Biden said just 3 weeks ago, begging the American people to forgive him because of Corona. So why not Ghana? Why does President John Mahama have to go abroad and admit Corona is a problem, but when he's in Ghana, he doesn't want to admit it? Then you know it's mischief. But what Dr. Bawumia has done is go around and say, these are the good things that the MPP has done. There were a few ones that didn't go well. How can we make it better? And this is the response in the manifesto. And that is why people like us, for example, say, we have seen President John Mahama as a president, not as a vice president. He told you and me that he was a spare driver and we should make him the main driver. Why is Bawumia not a spare driver? Why is Bawumia not a mate? Of course he's not the main driver. So now that we see that as a vice president, he has shown certain qualities, we believe that if he is made the main driver, if he moves from mate and is given the steering wheel, he'll be able to steer Ghana in the right direction under the certain circumstances that we have today. That is the principle of this manifesto today, and we believe that it will solve many of these problems.
Well, but I mean, everything about this country revolves around the economy, right?
Yes.
And he is the chairman of the EMT, right?
Yes.
And we are in these difficult times.
Yes.
How can Ghanaians trust the same person who was supposed to have superintendent over a very buoyant economy, because he told us you had the men and ending up this way? How can we trust that he will be the same person?
So when you
to
say
turn things
we,
around?
you mean Dr. Bawumia? But Dr. Bawumia was the head of the EMT, that's true. But Dr. Bawumia was not in charge of the economy, was he? Dr. Bawumia is not the president.
But he was managing.
Wait. And I'm saying